Hey everyone, Jeff again, Elite Sports Shooting. It's great to be back. It's great to see you guys again. Today we've got the Benelli Nova. But before we get going, I always do like to give a shout out to the Gugalooza and the Jalisi gun socks. I get them for about $8 on Amazon, between that $8-9 mark. I buy them by the bulk. I buy them in 4 or 6 at a time. If I could buy them in more, I probably would. They are on every shotgun in my cabinet. I love them. They're fantastic. Now, the Benelli Nova, there's a couple of claims that they say that the Benelli Nova is an innovated, it has the innovative features of a one-piece stock receiver, which is light in weight, yet superior in strength and protection from the elements. I do highly agree with that statement. I do have the Benelli Supernova, and that was my choice last year if I was to be able to take shotgun out hunting, waterfowl, and be in the blind. I could go into a marsh, I could drop the thing in the water, I could drag it through the mud, and it's still going to fire all day long. So it has the state of the art technology, includes the latest in ergonomics, creating the shotgun that is both delightful to handle and rugged enough for the harshest of the environments. It's got the twin bars for the pump slide, which pretty much every shotgun out there, pump action shotgun out there now, has the twin bars. I think Remington was the first one way back in the day, and then as soon as their patent ran out, like everyone started using the twin bars versus the one single bar. I have seen not videos, I have seen pictures, and people have sent me some pictures just talking about they broke one of those twin bars and had to literally get a whole new slide. But you know, for the most part, these are very rugged. You can put them through just about everything and clean them all up and enjoy years and years and years without having to fix them or you know, replace them and then hand them down to your kids or your, you know. I really believe that Benelli did a marvelous job, and I will say that this is at the entry-level price. When I first was looking at getting a Nova, this was last year, and they were in that $500 mark for the Black Shadow version. So the Black Shadow, I always call it the Black Shadow, or the Black Composite, I think is what Benelli calls it. But it came in around that $500, $550. Now this one here, the MSRP was $620. The MSRP now in 2023 is $670. Everything has gone up. Everything. The price of Beretta, Benelli. I don't know about Franchi. I've only been working with my Berettas and my Benellis. I did pick up a Stevens. Love it. Can't wait to shoot it. But this I picked up last year, and I picked it up for well under $600. So this gun here, very entry level. It's the Realtree Max 5. You can get it in the Realtree Max 7 now. It looks a little bit different. I prefer the Realtree Max 5. I love that look. The black version looks really good too, but I don't know. It's a preference kind of thing. So this Benelli Nova, it comes in the 20 and 20 gauge. This is the 12 gauge. I prefer 12 myself. I have one 20 gauge that I borrowed. It's in the gun case. I haven't done a video on it yet, but I prefer my 12 gauge. I like to keep it simple, keep everything same. Now, this is a 3.5 inch gun. It has the 3.5 inch chamber. So there are guys out there that love that 3.5 inch chamber, that they swear by it, that's all they shoot is a 3.5 inch chamber. Fantastic. Myself, I prefer 3 inch or 2 3/4. Number one, they're cheaper. If you can afford to shoot 3.5 inch, good on you. I know that they are between $50 and $70 a box, and I have a problem with that, where you could pick up a good set of hunting loads for between that $35, $40, and $50 mark, and you perhaps even end up with the same speed. Excuse me. But anyways, it's got that 3.5 inch chamber, and if you're ever wondering, it's stamped on the side of the barrel. It does have the it's got like a heavy, aggressive. I shouldn't even say aggressive. It's got really thick ribbed. It's got a thick rib to it. So when you're hunting, and I always when I'm out shooting, especially if I'm out hunting, I'm always going to be wearing a rubberized glove, and it grips to it very well. I do love these finger channels, my finger and my thumb channel. I've been more towards putting a finger underneath so I can literally point to what I'm shooting at. It's just something that I got kind of into. I think this is actually a little on the short side. I like being a little bit further ahead. That feels pretty good. Now it also has that higher vented sight rail. If you've seen any of my other videos, I prefer that. That is my preference. I also prefer dual beads. I have gotten more proficient because of the dual beads. When I line them up, one on the other, I can actually line these up, the fiber optic 4 bead and the steel mid bead, and I find I'm a little bit more accurate. It does not come with that top comb cheek pad. So time will tell, but when I line up, my cheek is not on the comb. I like to put the side of the buttstock against the fleshy part of my cheek. When it's flush with the receiver, I find that I have to put my face down a little bit more, and now my cheekbone is right on that buttstock. Now, the stock is all in one piece. On the Supernova, you can actually tailor it a little bit. You can adjust the cast, and you can adjust that length of pull. Now, you could adjust the length of pull. You could take it to a gunsmith. I don't suggest you do this by yourself. If you need to reduce that length of pull, take the butt pad off, shave off a little bit so it fits you a little bit better. But the length of pull is 14 3/8 of an inch. The drop at comb is 1 3/8 of an inch, and 2.5 inches at the drop at heel. Just with it all together, like everything, is just one solid piece. I think it's, for the price, I think it's well worth that $500 to $600 mark. Now it's basically between that $600 and $700 mark, but you know what I paid for this was under $6. But I do really like it. The Big Brother has a bigger trigger group for gloves, but the the Nova with the smaller trigger, I usually shoot with those rubberized, like a rubberized smaller glove. So my finger fits in here just fine with the glove on. Another thing that I like, if you look down inside to the magazine tube, this is actually discolored. It's actually red in color. It's actually red. And when I put a round in there, it's silver or it's brass. It's discolored, so you can actually flip it over and just have a quick visual to see if it's still loaded. And you could always depress the side of this if you have a round in there, so you could either cycle it out, or if a round is in the magazine tube, you can just press on that little tab inside here and it'll actually eject that round, or you can eject a bunch of those rounds. Now I have a plug in here and I can only put 3 in the magazine and 1 in the barrel, and that's mainly for hunting, but you could take that out fairly easily. You could probably put 4 in the magazine tube and 1 in the chamber, but unfortunately I can't. I have to leave the plug in there. So I know on my Supernova it's easy to take out, and I don't know I don't know what the rules are in the States, but I know what the rules are here. So they could take my truck if I take it out and I'm hunting with it. But if I'm down at the range, I could pull it out and shoot with it. So the overall length of the Benelli Nova is very similar. It's at 49.5 inches. I believe the Benelli Supernova was the same, that they were the same length. The Benelli Supernova, you could just change a little bit. It comes with 3 chokes. It comes with the improved cylinder, the modified, and the full. And the trigger weight on it, I'm not really impressed with the trigger. Now you could actually, if you watch my finger, you can see that it's got some pre-travel. A little bit of pre-travel isn't terrible. I've had some really good triggers on some less expensive gloves or less expensive guns, but when you get in here and you'll see, and you can see that the barrel unlocks. The barrel unlocks with the bolt, and on my Supernova I know it's a partial inertia system where it'll actually push back. You can actually see that right there. Right there, it gets really sticky, and that's part of their partial inertia system to absorb some of that recoil before it transfers right through to the end of the butt pad. But this butt pad, I don't know, we might have to put something else on. Let's do we're going to do the Lyman. We're going to check the trigger weight with the Lyman trigger puller. She's going to be heavy. £7, 14 ounces. That's pretty heavy. £7, 12 ounces. We'll do a best of 3. I usually do a best of 2, but 7 pounds, 7 pounds, 11 ounces. That's a pretty heavy trigger, but if you're taking it out on the blind, I also have not cleaned it yet. I always clean my guns like a brand new gun when I pick it up. Before I take it to the range, I actually do a cleaning on it. It's my own preference. It's my own personal process. I have had guns let me down on the range, and there's nothing more disappointing when you buy a brand new gun and it lets you down when you go to use it. So even right out of the box. So that's it for me. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. I will put up another video when I take it down to the range. I usually put 250 to 300 rounds, 350 rounds through it, just to get a good feel for the shotgun. I do like shooting clays with it. Before I would take it hunting, I would probably definitely take it and do a lot of clay shooting with it. So anyways, that's it for me. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. If you haven't yet subscribed, hit that subscribe button. If you like the content of the video, click that like button. I really appreciate it. And always remember to keep both eyes on your target. Thank you, everyone.